All right, let's dive in. Today, we're cracking open a playbook that has totally changed the game for online businesses, Russell Brunson's .com Secrets. We're going to uncover the one core strategy that can turn a simple website into an absolute marketing powerhouse. Let's get to it. So, if you're trying to grow a business online, does this sound familiar? You're constantly trying to get more eyeballs on your site, and then you're desperately trying to get those people to actually buy something. It can feel like you're just running on a hamster wheel, right? But here's the thing. What if that wasn't the real problem? Brunson kicks things off with a pretty bold claim. All that stuff you're stressing about, the traffic, the conversions, that's not actually the root of the issue. He basically says that low traffic and weak sales, well, they're just symptoms. They're like the warning lights flashing on your car's dashboard. They're telling you that something much deeper, something way more fundamental, is broken. And this, right here, is the big aha moment. The real problem isn't your traffic, it's your funnel. And that little shift in thinking is the key to, well, everything else we're about to talk about. Because when you fix the funnel, you'll be amazed at how the traffic and conversion problems just kind of solve themselves. The marketing legend Dan Kennedy absolutely nailed it with this one. The business that can spend the most to get a customer wins. The goal isn't just to make one sale, it's to build a system that's so profitable you can literally outspend all your competition to get attention. And a great funnel is what makes that possible. So how in the world do we start building one of these winning funnels? Well, it all kicks off with a really simple framework that Brunson calls the secret formula. And it really just boils down to answering 4 critical questions before you even think about building anything. First, and honestly, this is the most important one. Who do you actually want to work with? And I'm not just talking about boring demographics here. I mean, really, picture your perfect client. What are they passionate about? What's that one thing that keeps them up at night? If you don't get super clear on this, you're just going to attract customers who drain all your energy. Okay, so once you know exactly who you're looking for, the next question is, where are they already hanging out online? What blogs do they read every morning? What Facebook groups are they a part of? Which email lists did they willingly sign up for? The cool part is, your dream customers are already gathered together for you. Now for the fun part. What can you create that your dream client would find completely and utterly irresistible? This is your bait. And it needs to be so specific that it calls out to your ideal customer and, just as importantly, pushes everyone else away. It could be anything, a free guide, a checklist, a webinar, as long as it solves a very specific problem for them. And finally, what is the ultimate transformation you want to deliver for them? Notice I said result, not product. Think about it. If money was no issue, what's the highest level of service you could possibly offer to absolutely guarantee their success? That big destination, that becomes the North Star for your entire business. So once you've answered those 4 questions, you've actually created the building blocks for a super powerful concept called the value ladder. In fact, your bait is the very first step on the ladder, and that ultimate result you just pictured, that's the very top. Let's look at a really simple example. Probably the best way to understand this whole thing is with an example you've definitely experienced. Think about your dentist. How did you first become a patient there? I'm willing to bet it wasn't for some super expensive cosmetic surgery. It probably started with some kind of low-risk bait, right? Like a free teeth cleaning. And during that visit, the dentist gave you value. And they probably found some other things you needed. Maybe some teeth whitening trays, and then down the line, maybe a retainer. See how each step delivers more value and has a higher price? That's you climbing up their value ladder towards their most valuable services. That's the whole concept in action. Okay, so you've got your dream client figured out, and you've mapped out your offers on this value ladder. But how do you actually guide people up that ladder in the online world? Well, my friend, that is where the sales funnel comes in. A sales funnel is really just the online process, the series of web pages and emails that guides a person from that initial bait all the way up to your other offers. It's the engine that automates the whole journey up your value ladder. Now, the most important thing here is that this isn't about some cheesy high-pressure sales tactics. Not at all. It's about providing so much genuine value at every single stage that your customers naturally want to see what's next. They climb the ladder because they trust you and they want more of the awesome results you can deliver. So we have the structure, that's the value ladder, and we have the process, that's the funnel. But where do we find the people to put into the funnel in the first place? Well, this brings us right back to that second secret question. Where are your dream customers? Brunson uses a brilliant word for this: congregations. Just like people with shared beliefs gather in churches, your dream customers are already congregating online around their shared interests, their passions, and their problems. Seriously, your target market is already organized for you. They're in those forums, geeking out over tiny details. They're following specific influencers on Instagram. They're subscribed to those niche YouTube channels, and they are super active in those passionate Facebook groups. The hard work of finding them isn't like finding a needle in a haystack. It's just about finding the right haystack, and they are everywhere. So your job isn't to create a market from scratch, it's just to tap into an existing one. You simply go to these online congregations, you show them your irresistible bait, and you divert a little stream of your dream customers from where they are now right into the front door of your sales funnel. And when you put all of these pieces together, the right person, the right bait, a solid value ladder, and an automated funnel, your website is no longer just a passive digital brochure. It becomes an active, predictable machine that generates leads and sales for you. And that brings us right back to where we started. A deep, profitable funnel means you make more money from every single customer. And this becomes your ultimate competitive advantage because it lets you outbid your competitors on ads, dominate your market, and grow like crazy. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What is your version of the free teeth cleaning? And what's your high-value cosmetic surgery? Really, mapping this out is the very first step to building a business that doesn't just survive online, but absolutely thrive.